Sorry, I know you couldn't hear me for a second. I said, what's happening, folks? I normally don't do videos while I'm driving and stuff because I'm usually super paying attention to everything. I'm a truck driver, if you didn't know. I think I need to do this. I think I need to lay it all out on the table. So I'm gonna do a critique or just a commentary, I guess you can say, on Eminem. I'm gonna make it real quick, right? Number one, about his album, right? There were so many bars in there that went at people, right? But some of the bars that simple-minded people think went at people, you know, taking shots at Lil Yachty and Migos. He didn't take shots at them. What he did was he took everybody's criticism, took everybody's commentary, took everybody's thoughts, and gave them back to them and said to the audiences of these folks, this is why I personally don't like certain things. I don't got no problem with you as a person, but I got a problem with you trying to step on the art. Or we're not in the same category. Okay, so he separated himself from that. Then, you know, people want to say, oh, well, he has substance abuse issues too. Yeah, but he didn't glorify the substance abuse issues. What people have an issue with understanding nowadays with lyrics, and this is, he said this in the album as well, you're too stupid to get the bars that go over your head. What people don't understand is that as a lyricist or a rapper, you were talking about the things that were going on with you, you know, good, bad, and in between. And you were putting it out there as to these are things that are happening in life. This is what goes on. So when he say, I'm not your cup of tea, maybe your cup is full of lean. Yes, your cup is full of lean. But the problem with the lean drinking era and all of that stuff is that it's being glorified, not looked at as a problem. Wasn't looked at as a problem until Lil Wayne started having seizures and stuff like that. And then Lil Wayne comes out and tells you, hey, you know, don't drink this lean. It's killing me from the inside out. But by then, he had already influenced so many people to do it. It's an addiction now. M is saying, I have a problem with pills. I have a problem versus all I do is drink lean. All I do is blow trees. That's two different things, right? And that's in his album. Now, the reason why he was stepping on the album as his last album is because as an artist, you are sensitive about your own material. So sometimes you can think that your material is garbage. You can think that your material is trash. And you feel it. And then when the people come back and tell you it's trash, all right then, are you mad and upset about it? Yes, because it's your work. You put your passion into this. So one of the things that were overlooked a lot, and I'm gonna wrap this up really quick. One of the things that were overlooked is that a couple of the songs came out, you know, fall and stuff like that, came out before the album type thing. And it had people focusing on the diss tracks. It had people focusing on the diss tracks more than they focused on the content and the direction of the album and how it plays out as a whole album, right? There's so many great concepts in that album. Even with the song Lucky Me or Lucky You. The concept in that album with him and Joyner Lucas came from two different perspectives. A starving artist looking to get stuff and feeling like he can't climb the mountain to an artist who have already climbed the mountain, and now he's saying, like, once you get here, you're going to realize it's not all it's cracked up to be. That's just not what it is. And in that concept, you got black, you got white. You got rich, you got poor. You got up, you got down. You got lyricists, up and coming lyricists against polished lyricists. You have all of the compare and contrast dynamics in just that one record. So the critique of the record is this. It's a timeless, great record, right? It's a great album. It's gonna be a classic. I already got two. I got one to keep in the package, one to play. I always do that. Whenever there's a classic album, that I feel is going to be a classic. You know, Notorious B.I.G., Life After Death, All Eyes on Me. You have one that's in the rapper, one that you play. When I think about the album, I don't think of it as in just the disc. But the problem is, in this new day and age, you're not allowed to disagree with anything. You're not allowed to feel some type of way about the majority, about the collective. So if you're a person that doesn't like mumble rap, that doesn't like lean and syrup, and you don't like the message that they're painting to our youth, facial tats and sagging your pants and doing all crazy stuff, it doesn't matter what you did as a child, because those are different days and age. That's a different era. But when I have kids, I don't want my kids doing everything that I done, you know, and then some. I don't want my kids into sex at 12 years old. I don't want my kids cussing back at me. You know, I don't cuss at my kids. So why would I want them to cuss at me? Why would I want any of the music that they listen to contain harsh language and like that? But because the melody is so catchy and the beat is so catchy that, oh, it's all good, we're all partying, we're all having fun. It's all fun until somebody doesn't like what you say and they pull a gun in your face. It's all good until somebody doesn't like what you say and now they're fighting. It's all good until your young daughter is having sex or your young son is having sex and they mess around and have a baby or something like that. But you don't realize what music holds on the inside for you, how music vibrates in your spirit. So people have issues with that. And the second that you go against the grain, that's a problem. Eminem was at his finest right now. And I get what Joe Budden is saying and all of that type of stuff. I feel him. I understand. Because those are behind the scene things that only him and him and a couple of other people know. But when we're talking about just critiquing his album, just critiquing how it is, his wordplay, his lyricism, his metaphors, those things were above reproach. So when he took shots at certain people, I'm going to take shots at people who talk about my daughter too. So, you know, but if I put you in the same sentence, and the crazy thing is, for everything that he said, for every shot that he took, he also, on the other hand, in this album, told you everything that was going to be said and everything that was going to come out of criticism of this album. You know, millions of views, 10 cents or two. I mention you, win-win for you, but it's a lose-lose for me. I don't have nothing to gain by mentioning, but I can mention you, and now you're on everybody's radar. Machine Gun Kelly, all these critics that are doing critiques of records. Now you're on the radar. Now you can get hundreds of millions of views, and you know, and that helps you out with your recognition. And then he falls back in the cut, and he doesn't say anything. You ever wonder why when you critique something, the person that you're critiquing never speaks? Because they leave certain things up to your interpretation. That shows where your level of intellect is, depending on how you learn how to critique or how you critique that person and their project. It's crazy because there's so many rappers that take shots at people all the time. And you say, oh, well, you know, his age. Now you want to throw age in there. So you mean to tell me that age is a factor in the work that you do? So if you're young or you're old, but you're a CEO of a company, it matters what your age is. If you're young and you're old and you own a corporation, or you own your own business or a fleet of trucks, or you work at this place, so now your age matters. No, it doesn't matter in this. You can't, I'm 40 years. It doesn't matter if you're 40 years old. What matters is the product and the content that you put out. So you can do interviews until you're 40, 50, and 60 years old, but you can't rap. That's the mark of a person who lacks intellectualism. So what I'm saying is, his album was great. His album was great. Did he take shots? Absolutely. Did a lot of the bars go over people's head? Yes. He layered the bars in a way that no bar was wasted. But you can't catch that, or I'm not going to say you, I'm speaking generally. Most people don't catch that because they don't understand rap anymore. Rap has been dumbed down to simple phrases and melodies and tight beats. That's it. So when you get somebody who has put this level of work into their piece, into their album, you have a hard time understanding what it is that they're trying to say in every single bar because you're not at that level. And it's fine that you're not at that level. Maybe you don't want to be at that level. So if you're not at that level, or you don't want to be at that level, and party music is your thing, drinking lean, smoking all the weed you could possibly smoke, all of that stuff, if that's your thing, then you shouldn't be critiquing what's not your thing. Right? Because there's levels to stuff. And I'm not talking about high and low. I'm talking about different lanes. All going in the same direction, all for forward progress, but there's different lanes. He said all of the mumble rap isn't his lane. He hates it. Right? He gave it back to you. Do you have any idea how much I hate this choppy flow? It's not his cup of tea. Does he have a right to say it? Yeah, just like you got a right to criticize him and be wrong. Or be right, So the emotions is what kind of kills everything. People's emotions get in the way of sound logic. So if you think his album is trash, you just think his album is trash. If you think it's great, you just think it's great. If you think he's wrong for taking shots at people who talk about his daughter and stuff like that, my opinion is that you're wrong and you know nothing about battle rap. But you might feel some type of way. If you feel like MGK killed him, then that's the way you feel. Do I feel like MGK killed him? No. I feel like MGK pretty much was asking a question. Why attack me? Why attack me? Now I'm going to bring out a couple of things, and nobody cares about facts anymore. Don't nobody care about facts. They care about what's the popular opinion. So however the popular opinion gets set, once it gets set, and that's the popular opinion, that's all people care about. So in the critique, and I was listening to a couple of YouTube channels, which I'm not going to name them out because I'm not that type of person. I was listening to a couple of YouTube channels critique of his album, and they could not get off the fact that he was dissing lean and mumble rappers or saying that they weren't in his lane. They couldn't get off of that fact. So they couldn't enjoy anything else about the album. They couldn't hear any of the concepts. They couldn't hear anything else. When one person gets slighted, they're always going to project that anger onto other people. So if you didn't get the recognition that you deserved at that point in time, you're going to tell everybody else that this person is trash because they didn't give you recognition. They didn't give you a shot, you an opportunity. But you made it somewhere else. You made it. You may not have needed to make it in the way that you thought you did, but you made it. And what the issue is deeper inside you than it has anything to do with him. So if I was Eminem, I wouldn't come on none of y'all shows. I wouldn't give a critique of my own album. I wouldn't say a thing. Because right now, this album is not only one of his greater pieces, but it's also doing exactly what he said it's going to do. Generate millions of views for you. Win-win for you. He sacrificed himself at the altar of hip-hop, and now y'all are eating it up because that's what sells now. That's what gets clicks. That's what gets views. Is being trolls, being negative, coming against anything that's against the popular collective decision or ideology. He knows that. Pretty sure he's not stupid. So y'all have a good day, man. I'll come back at y'all with some other stuff. Always remember, you can throw some likes, you can throw some dislikes, throw some comments. I respond to comments. I'm gonna tell you now, my clapback game is strong because I come back with the truth. So I don't do too much opinionated things. What you think is an opinion is just because you don't know the facts. And people who don't know facts always think things are an opinion. But anyways, like, share, subscribe, do your thing. I'll holler at y'all later.